You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. Excited to be here with you today because we're talking about maintaining a positive outlook, right? We're all going to have those hard days where things don't go right, the unplanned happens, but we can maintain a positive outlook. We have that ability. And so we're going to talk about different tips and suggestions for how you can do that. Also, in our next segment, we're going to be joined by Zachary Govan. He's going to talk about how when he was drinking and driving, he got into an accident. It did cause him to have a brain injury. And so he's going to share with us about that. But he didn't just sulk and just reside to the fact that he may never walk again. He rallied. And you know what? He did walk again. It's an amazing story you don't want to miss. Also, we're going to be taking your calls. Again, that number is 800-333-0001. I am standing by to take your calls. And if you need to hear today's show again, because I go back and I re-listen because all the callers and the guests, they say such inspirational things. You can just go to livingfullout.com. Click on our radio page. All the episodes will be waiting for you. Or again, feel free to go to the App Store. Check out Living Full Out Radio there, or go to Alexa. Just make sure that you stay motivated and empowered each and every day. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for calling. How can I help you?
Hi, my name is Samantha, and I was just wondering, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So how can I be more organized with my schoolwork and job?
That's a great question because, in fact, that's like the $1 million question, right? Because so many people call in about balance, the need to balance their life. Let me ask you a question. Do you currently keep to a consistent schedule, or do you just kind of wake up every day hoping for the best?
Some days I have a schedule going, and then some days I kind of just wake up and hope for the best.
Okay. And there is some freedom around that, right? And it's like, I don't have to keep to a schedule. But I find that you can come up with two types of a schedule. Okay, one is going to be the super restricted, you know your start time, your end times, when you need to be there. And I find that actually, to me, is a little bit more freeing because I know it's kind of game on at the start of my day, but at the end of my day, I know I got it all done. And there's some pride in that because you know that, you can sleep peacefully knowing all was achieved or as much as you could get. The thing about the waking up hoping for the best is that a lot of times we'll get lured by the refrigerator or the TV or, we'll take a long shower, right? And so
yeah, absolutely.
To protect yourself around that, you could have maybe a looser schedule. So take that to-do list of things that you want to do in a day, and maybe on a day that it's not so tight, it might just be, okay, I would like to send out a resume. I would like to do laundry. I would like to make sure that I go to the gym. But give yourself a deadline for when that has to be achieved by, rather than leaving it open-ended. So if it's going to the gym and you wake up at 8, okay, I have to go to the gym by 10. That's your deadline. Do you see that? Or if you say, you know what, I want to send out this resume and I have to hit that send button by noon. Okay? And so it's not like you're so tightly restricted, but you're giving yourself deadlines, and there has to be a reward and there has to be a consequence. Because if there isn't a reward and a consequence, well, then a lot of times we can kind of fudge a little and we don't do it. So what do you think would be a reward? It doesn't have to be a massage that you're going to spend money on, but what is something that brings you joy? What would be something that you would love if you could have it?
That's a really tough question. I think a simple reward for me would be maybe to just take a break and watch maybe an episode of a Netflix show.
There you go. 30 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
if you hit that deadline, if you go to the gym by, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever it is, then you know what? You get that 30-minute, 60-minute Netflix show, okay? And then you got to think of a consequence, okay? If you don't go to the gym, well, you know what? This is going to happen. And when you said that earlier, that's a great question. I'll have to think about that. That's what I want you to walk away from today's call, coming together with 3 consequences, because you don't want the same one all the time. It'll kind of beat yourself up. Come up with 3 consequences, come up with 3 rewards, and then on the days that you kind of have that floating schedule, the hope for the best schedule, then you can go ahead and have those in place. Okay?
Okay.
But thank you so much for calling in. Great question.
And thank you for allowing me to call in. Thank you so
You
much.
got it. Have a great day. Okay.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love that she asked that question, right? Because we're all about today maintaining a positive outlook, and we have to do that with some structure in place, even if it's a light structure. Now, we're for our producer that we have another caller on the line. Hello, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hello, I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. How can we help you today?
Just have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
What do you do when you feel stuck in life?
That's a yucky feeling, huh? Because you feel like you really can't be free to run and do what you want to do. When you say that you feel stuck in life, do you feel that you feel stuck in every aspect of your life? Or are you more stuck in your career or more stuck in your personal life?
I feel like I feel it in every aspect of my life.
Okay. One thing I want you to think about beyond our time together today is I want you to Google vision boards and what they are. But a vision board can be done in many different ways, but essentially it is having a board, something that you can hang up on your wall, with pictures or mementos, items that remind you of what you're shooting for. So a lot of times when we get stuck, it's because we feel like we have very few options. It's because we feel like, what's the point? I'm never going to get there. Or do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not really being our best friend when we're stuck. It's like negative talk, right? So the first thing is I want you to consider putting together a vision board so that every day when you wake up, your vision is right there in front of you. Maybe post in the bathroom as you're brushing your teeth to look at, okay? The other thing I want you to consider is, and you might want to write this down, so the different aspects of your life that you feel stuck, let's just say career, you want to write down, why do you feel stuck? I feel stuck because I don't have enough time. I feel stuck because I don't have enough money. I feel stuck because I don't have enough support. Let's just take those 3, right? And you've done an outline in school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do it kind of like an outline. Number 1, career. Letter A, time. And then under letter A, you want to come up with solutions for how you can get yourself more time. Maybe you're over obligated. Maybe you have to give up some tasks. Maybe you have to stick to a better schedule. Then you go to letter B, resources. Okay, maybe come up with solutions under resources that you do a Google search in your local area. What's free? What does your university give you? Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of like, it's kind of like a business plan for life. And a lot of times the reason why we get stuck in life is because we haven't put together a life plan. Now, sometimes life is not going to go to plan. But if you're feeling stuck, I promise you, if you take all of these thoughts and you put them to paper and you kind of get creative with solutions, you're going to feel more empowered. You're going to feel like, you know what, I'm not stuck. I have a plan. I have some solutions, and I'm going to give them a try. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I believe in you, and I have been there. That's why I know being stuck is yucky. But I also know that you have the ability to get out of it. Believe it or not, you are your own solution, and we're here at the Living Full Out Show for you. Feel free to call back again if you need us. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you for calling in. And I really appreciate that last question that she asked, right? Because we're talking today about maintaining a positive outlook. Sometimes we need that schedule. We need that life plan. We need something to remind us, like that vision board, that we are worth it. We can have it. That it's just a matter of digging in, putting in our time. But you know what? It can happen. It's all about believing in yourself. So stay with us, because in our next segment, we have Zachary Goffin talking about how he maintains a positive outlook even with a brain injury due to a car accident. It's very inspiring, I promise you. This is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and we'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
Hi, professional skateboarder Tony Hawk here with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you'll have the energy to skate through anything.
Nice play on words, Doc.
That's how I roll, Bugs. So whether you like to work the half pipe,
now that's catching air,
kick the soccer ball around, or dance in your room,
just move it your way.
For an hour a day.
The way you like to move, as long as you're moving.
Carve out some time every day and get active. Because it's time to do a 180 on what you think exercise is.
Because it can be whatever you want it to be. So be a player.
Be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
At www.letsmove.gov. Let's hear that one more time, Doc. That's www.letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
I'm Nancy Solari, Certified Life and Business Coach. I want to invite you to the Personal Development Bootcamp. During the bootcamp, we're going to be looking at taking those insecurities that you have and getting rid of them. We're also going to look at ways in which you can thrive and live a life full of purpose. Go to livingfullout.com/bootcamp, livingfullout.com/bootcamp to sign up. I believe in you, and here's to you living your life full out.
I'm Sarah, and this is my story.
I'm Ellen, and this is my story.
One night, I was at a bar.
I
was having fun with my friends.
I
had one too many drinks.
I
got behind the wheel to go home.
I got a cab to go home.
All of a sudden, from out of nowhere, a squirrel ran across the road. It happened so quickly, I barely had time to react.
The cabbie barely had time to react.
I swerved.
The cab swerved.
I can't believe it. I hit a guy.
I cannot believe it. The cabbie just missed a guy.
I wish I took a cab.
Thank goodness I took a cab.
You have the choice to save a life. Don't drive buzzed. It's a decision you'll never regret. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food than we know what to do with in this country, yet 17 million kids in America are struggling with hunger. Makes no sense. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Hey, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you think depression is all in a person's head, you're right. It's a brain illness. And like other illnesses, it has symptoms. Depression can make those who suffer from it feel hopeless. It can even lead to suicide. Learn how to stop depression from taking another life. Call SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, 1-888-511-SAVE, on the web at save.org.
I'm Alec Baldwin. Like any parent, I'm concerned about children's health. Many kids don't eat as they should and are at risk for long-term health problems like diabetes and heart disease. But here's good news. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and other low-fat vegetarian foods can protect our kids and keep the rest of the family healthy too. For a free booklet, call the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine at 1-877-685-KIDS or visit www.kidsgethealthy.org.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. With Nancy's expertise, you'll learn how to embrace your potential and strive for success. If you have a question or need further support, send us an email at connect@livingfullout.com. Now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about maintaining a positive outlook. And I'm raising my hand, right? Because I know sometimes that's easier said than done. But we do have the ability, and we sometimes have to get creative with what keeps us positive. Is it people in our life? Is it having a goal and knowing that one day we'll achieve it? Well, I'm bringing you an inspirational guest today, Zachary Govan, who really had to dig deep to stay positive and have that outlook, because he did get a brain injury due to a car accident. And we'll talk about that with him. But when you hear his story, I want you to really take away the determination, the never give up factor that he had to get to where he is today, and to be able to apply that to your life so that you can stay positive and empowered. So I'd very much like to welcome Zachary to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much. I'm great and happy to have you. You know, and it's a tough story to talk about in the sense of what happened to you, because you've made amazing strides, but, you know, the results of the accident did cause a brain injury, which you still kind of suffer with even today. So I want to take our audience back to April 19th, 2006. Now, I know prior to this accident, you were a captain on your baseball team, your football team. You were full throttle, a lot of promise in your future. But I also know, like so many of us, you had a bad day. You had a day where things just weren't going right, and you started drinking. Can you share with us the dynamics of the accident of that day?
Yeah, so what pretty much happened was I was being recruited Division I to play baseball, and I had a really bad day at the plate. And I went 0 for 4 or something like that, and I was like, oh, there goes my D1 scholarship, you know. So I was like, I just want to like go out and like hang out with my friends, you know. I don't really care what happens tonight. I ended up drinking a lot, and I ended up getting in a car, and I ended up crashing it.
You know, the thing that's amazing about that, and if our audience wants to look up Zachary Govan, you'll see pictures of this accident. I mean, your car was in the tree. It was pretty severe. And in fact, you got ejected from the car. And, you know, one of the rescue folks, they actually kind of tripped over you. That's how they found you.
That's right. Yep.
Now, because of the swelling in your brain, they did put you into a medical coma. Can you share with us what you remember, like your first memory coming out of the coma?
Yeah. Mhm. So when I got in my accident, the doctors told my parents, you know, I wasn't gonna make it through the night, and that I pretty much had a 5% chance of living. And on a coma scale, I was a 3. Which meant I had no response to any stimulus. And they had to medically induce me to keep the swelling down in my brain. And the first memories I have when I was in my coma were memories of, you know, I saw a lot of my friends come to visit me and stuff like that, and like holding my hand, talking to me, and things like that. Because as I was getting weaned off the morphine, I was starting to wake up a little bit here and there out of my coma. And I remember images, like I remember my mom crying because she stayed with me every night I was in a coma. So.
Well, and you had really significant injuries. Can you share with us, you know, obviously, you know, the brain injury was a big one, but you had other injuries to your body.
Yeah. So I completely, like, pretty much just shattered my right foot, and I broke my jaw. I collapsed my right lung and required a lung tube to drain the fluid from that, and I needed a feeding tube as well because I broke my jaw, so they had to wire my jaw shut. But I also I got double vision because of my my traumatic brain injury. So I injured the left side of my brain, but the blood pooled on the right, and the right side controls the left side of the body. So I woke up with it's called left side neglect, and I couldn't use my left hand, my left arm, my left leg. Just the list goes on.
You know, at that point, did you just want to give up? I mean, honestly, did you have moments where you were like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to keep going?
Yeah, I did. But it wasn't right when I, realized what had happened. When I realized what had happened to me, I was like, no, that's not true. I'm, this great athlete, I'm going to work hard just like I was doing. I'm going to get back and better. I'm going to be running in no time, But, there was one night I was in inpatient rehab in Boston, and I was praying to God, and I was just like, God, please don't let me wake up tomorrow. There's no point in living. I can't see, I can't eat, I can't move my hand, I can't walk. It was just, I don't know, I got to a really low point, but he pulled me out of it. So.
And the reason why I ask you that question, it's hard, and we're with you. I feel how you felt that night. But we're talking today about, maintaining a positive outlook. And, for everybody listening, whether it's your faith, whether it's a friend or a family member, those are the times that when we're low, that we can stretch out our hand and be there for someone else. Or in your case, you did pray not to wake up, but it sounds like you're obviously very grateful that you did.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing to get that faith to keep moving forward is to take accountability for this situation. I knew I messed up, but I also knew I was the only one that could make my life better.
That is an excellent point, Zachary, because that's true. You were the one drinking. You're the one that got into the accident, but you also knew that you were going to have to work hard to get yourself healed and hopefully walking again. So I want everybody to stay with us, and Zachary, you as well. We're going to come back and hear more of his story. But again, today we're talking about maintaining a positive outlook. It is so hard sometimes when we cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I want you to hang in there, because it's during those really low moments that you just gotta sit tight, put on that seatbelt, and know that the positive outlook is coming. Stay with us. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey, but people in this town call me Maniac. They call me that because I'm the fastest runner in town. But just because everyone knows who I am doesn't mean I belong. I don't really belong anywhere. You see, I'm an orphan, and I wander the streets just looking for a place that I can truly call home. My name is Maniac McGee, and I'm all alone. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Maniac McGee by Jerry Spinelli. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
And the food pyramid shows you the way. With just the right amount of exercise and the necessary grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Just the bare necessities of life.
So eat right, be active, and have fun.
Yeah, man.
For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
This is really living.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Nancy Solari, host of the Living Full Out Show. I am excited to let you know that we are now associated with Alexa. If you have Alexa in your house and you didn't know that, go ahead and find Living Full Out because you can hear us anytime you want, and we're there for you to keep you motivated. Go to your app store because we're located there as well. Just look for the Living Full Out radio show. It's important to us that we put out really inspiring programming, but we want to make sure that you have it at your fingertips when you need us most. We never know when those challenges are going to come, when we're going to feel lonely and need that motivation. So just know that when you need us, we're here for you. Check out Alexa, the app stores, or go to livingfullout.com. Here's to you living full out.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about maintaining a positive outlook. And when we consider doing that, it's easier said than done on certain days, right? It sounds good, but finding the energy, finding the motivation, that can be the trick. Well, we have brought you a very inspirational guest today, Zachary Goffin, who's talking about how in 2006 he made a decision to drink and drive, and it ended up causing him to have a brain injury and a lot of other, injuries to his body that he's still dealing with today. So we're talking about his journey, and I'd very much like to welcome Zachary back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being so honest in our last segment about kind of your lowest point where you wanted to give up. But I also know that you kind of had another realization because you had broken your jaw and it was, you were using a feeding tube. You had been a healthy athlete. And at one point, somebody told you that you now weighed 121 pounds. How devastating was that to you to know that your muscle, your weight, all that you had built was kind of going away?
Honestly, I was so when I found out that I weighed that much, I was so out of it and still coming off the morphine. I couldn't have put two and two together that me weighing that little meant I lost that much weight. Like I had the mental image that I was still like a good athlete and still have all this muscle mass. And in reality, I was like skeleton, like that who sat in a wheelchair and couldn't hold his head up. You know, like that was me.
Wow. And what I find is so amazing, and I know there was months in this process, a couple of months, but you worked really hard with your mom, with your therapist, and you were able to regain strength and stand and then walk. And, what gave you that inspiration? What was your focus?
Well, I've always been an athlete, like my whole entire life, and I've always knew there was something out there for me more, not just sports, but I felt like I was destined to, do something, something great. And I'm like, maybe this is my moment. And I just was like, oh, I'm going to play baseball again. So I worked as hard as I could. I would wheel myself down to the therapy gym. I would do the hand bike here. I would walk extra with a cane. After my therapy sessions with my mom, we would literally do like laps, almost like sprints, like trying to practice form up and down the hallways of the hospital. And I was just like, if I want to get back to where I was, it's not going to be easy, but I have to make some sacrifices, and I'm going to be in pain a lot because I had to learn how to walk on a broken foot. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be in pain the whole time, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get through it.
And you did do it. And in fact, you got offered to kind of be a walk-on to see if you could play again.
Yeah. So and like pretty soon afterwards, I was even able to run on to my football game field, and everyone was cheering for me. They were like, yeah, this kid hasn't played all year, but he's able to run on the field. I was like, that's a good feeling,
Yeah.
But then the baseball thing came, and I got offered to become a walk-on for the University of Massachusetts baseball team, which is a Division I program, and that's what I've always wanted to do. But when I got there, I realized how far away I was from actually playing at that level again.
Mm. Now, that realization that you just weren't quite there, what did you decide to do with that? Did you sulk? Did you want to give up? Did you say, you know what, I'm going to make a new plan? What did you do?
So I wouldn't drop it. Freshman year, sophomore year, I was still like, I'm going to do it. And then finally, I was killing myself in the gym. I'd go to the gym three times a day, and I would work so hard for so little, because I'd work so hard thinking I would see a change, and then the next day there would be no change. You wake up and your left hand doesn't work the way it should.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't think it's gonna happen for me. Baseball at that level is just probably not in the cards for me. So I started writing down like my thoughts as a way to kind of cope with it, and I just kept on writing, and it turned into a book, and I was like, I can help a lot of people who have had or are going to have brain injuries, So
you kind of wrote yourself into your purpose, basically.
Yeah,
you found it. Now,
yeah.
I know that there's been several different times over your life that you have felt judged or kind of disconnected socially, and I get that, because when I'm out and about in a dark restaurant, I can't see people, and sometimes I can't hear them, and then for you, obviously, it's tough because with your brain injury, it's just tracking and following along. But I also know that you had a situation where a police officer quickly judged you with not taking into consideration that you actually had a brain injury. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. So I was in Maine. Me and my friends would go to Maine in the summer and just kind of hang out. All my friends were drinking, and I was the only sober one. So naturally, I drive because I'm sober. And we got pulled over, and he noticed that my speech was slurred. He noticed that my eyes couldn't follow the pen because I have nystagmus. Because I had double vision, but I had surgery to correct it. But my eyes still have nystagmus when I try to track certain things. So I couldn't do the balance stuff with the sobriety test, and I couldn't touch my nose right, So he arrested me, and we went back to the police department, and I spent the night in jail pretty much, and he even mugshotted me, took my fingerprint, and I'm like, no, dude, I have a brain injury. And even, like, my friends are telling him, he has a brain injury, and he's like, you didn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. And he's like, well, we'll see. You're probably on drugs, so we'll wait until this guy comes to look at you and see if you're on drugs. And I wasn't. He's like, no, this guy's absolutely fine. He's clean. Like, you're holding him here for no reason. And I didn't get an apology or anything, and my car was still impounded, so I had to get that.
That's a tough moment, Zachary, because you're kind of feeling punished for something out of your control.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking today about having a positive outlook, and as we kind of round out this interview today, in moments like that, how did you walk away from that to better educate people going forward? Because that police officer needed more education on your brain injury, but how did you handle more moments like that in the future?
Well, I mean, that moment is kind of why I wrote my book. Is one of to educate people on brain injuries, because honestly, before I had a brain injury, I knew nothing about brain injuries and how serious they are, and I just kind of looked at it like everyone's like, oh, you should sue him. And I'm not going to sue the guy. He didn't know. He's ignorant to what brain injuries really are and what they actually present like, what they look like. So I just try to I don't know. I like to try to educate people on what brain injuries are, I guess.
Yeah. And, as we round out today, I mean, given the accident, told you had a 5% chance of living, to eventually walking, writing your book. But what does living full out mean to you today, where you are in your life?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to live life to the fullest and, trying to get everything I can out of it. I don't want to waste a second of my life. I moved to Florida from Massachusetts, and I was married for a little bit, and to someone who was just sucked the life out of me, and I feel like I wasn't able to live fully, live full out through those years. But I've redeemed myself. Now I'm a physical therapist assistant, and I have a beautiful wife and 3 kids, and we're moving today, actually.
Oh, wow!
So that's why it's been so crazy. I'm literally sitting on my floor right now with no furniture.
Wow. Well, Zachary, I want to thank you so much for being on today's show, because you've given us a lot to think about beyond today's show of, getting more educated on brain injuries and what they are, and, how we can be more supportive to those who've had it. Love seeing that you just thrived and conquered your life and lived full out in a big way. So thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me, Nancy.
You got it. We'll wish you all the best. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
And for everybody listening today, you could be on the show just like Zachary. I mean, these are everyday people that we bring on. and they work hard to get to where they are today. And I know that you've overcome obstacles, hardships too. So I want to invite you to reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com. Share with us your story. Let us know what you went through, how you overcame it, and perhaps we'll have you on the show just like Zachary so you can tell your story of how you've lived full out. And today we are talking about maintaining a positive outlook. So the thing is, it is never too late. You can turn that page, you can start anew. And honestly, that is what it means to live full out. So when we come back, we're going to be taking your calls. Again, I'm standing by, assisting you to give you tips and suggestions on how you can walk away from today's show empowered and ready to go for life in a big way. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show, and we will be right back after this break. Stay with us.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment. Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Mom, what? Huh? Pew, pew. What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. It's against my religion. I'm giving my dog a bath. You can have pictures of that. Pressure gives me hives. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. Hold on, let me ask my mom. Sorry, my webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. Unfortunately, I just had my clothes surgically attached to my body. If they got out, I might never be president. I'm already naked, under my clothes. Not even if you were all three Jonas Brothers. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. The more you ask, the less I want to. You're not the boss of me. Nudity makes me vomit. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
Football
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
What? What about our plan to win the lottery and start living? You know, travel the world on matching yachts, wear enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacation on the French Riviera, and then buy it.
You know we're never going to win the lottery, right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
To maintain a positive attitude and outlook, you want to make sure that you know what you're shooting for. Have that vision, that goal in mind, and think about it when you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning so you know what you're striving for. Also make sure that you have the right friends and family in line to support you on those hard days. But I believe in you. You can live full out every day.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. Nancy is here as a guide to show you how to rise above obstacles and savor each moment. If you have a question, call in live at 800-333-0001. That's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out show. And we've been talking about how to maintain a positive outlook and what support we might need in place, whether it's people, whether it's keeping to a schedule or resources. And I just hope that over today's show, it's inspired you to really engage in your life and know that what it is that you want to achieve, it is possible. The only kicker is we never know how long it will take. That's why having that schedule, having deadlines, that will keep you on your path. But also going online or asking around, getting resources. We kind of live in this world of we know what we know and we don't know what we don't know, right? So if you don't ask, if you don't put yourself out there, then those resources won't come to you. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out show.
Hi, my name is Shamika. So my question is, how do I find true companionship in the opposite sex?
Well, that's a great question because other people are looking for that same special person, right? There's all those dating apps and websites. I think the thing that you want to really think about is what are your must-haves? And don't make it a long list, but you want to make sure that you find somebody that you can run with. And so you have to think about what are your deal breakers, those are the cons, right? And what are your must-haves, meaning I really need this in a partner to balance me out, to keep me, positive and thriving. So give me one deal breaker.
How do I even put this now? How do I say? Like, you're always making excuses.
The person who always has, that's a good one. That is a good one for everybody listening. That is a good one, right? Because we all have to own our own mistakes and own our own decisions. So that's great. What's another deal breaker?
Another deal breaker would be, how do I put this now? Like, someone who's not driven, because I think that kind of lack of motivation, it can be transferred. So it might make me less outgoing.
100%. I believe I'm with you on that one too. And I really want to make sure beyond today's show that you go back and listen to this. And everybody listening, everything that she is saying right now, these are the things that you want to put like in your profile, in a conversation with someone. I just really am full of life and I love to live full out and, I want to make sure that I make no excuses and the person that I'm looking for, like they're just as honest with what's right or wrong in their life. And gosh, I really want to make sure that the person that I'm with is full of spirit and energy and loves life the way I do. And we have similar drives, so our car keeps going in the same direction. Do you see how you can make that conversational without it being like a list? And then what's a must-have?
Must-have? Oh, he has to be funny. I like someone that can make me laugh because, that can make a bad day really good.
Right? And see, right there, that's a profile sentence. I want someone who has a good sense of humor, who can make a bad day really good. What's another must-have?
I'm not a great cook.
Okay.
I could cook.
Okay. You would like it if he could cook. Maybe you can cook breakfast and he can cook dinner, right? So
yeah.
So
or you can teach me.
See, exactly. So the thing is, I love that you asked this question, but the great thing is, everything that you and I are saying right now, just make it a conversation. When you're talking to people, it's not about being desperate. It's not about, when will that person ever come? It's not debating, will they ever come? The thing is, it's just being really clear on the must-haves and the deal breakers. And then just talking about them and putting it out there. And then eventually the right person will come. And I promise you, thousands of people are raising their hands right now because they're in the same boat. So thank you so much for calling in. Stay positive. Put yourself out there and go back and listen to today's show because you gave a lot of great tidbits. That's your profile verbiage right there. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
And for everybody listening today, I want you to go out there and rock it. I mean, just live full out, have fun, sense of humor, right? Enjoy yourself. Know that, time is in your hands. You can do what you want with it. You can kind of expand it and, really have that schedule, or you can be loose with your time. Resources, go out there, look for them, grab it, make it like a scavenger hunt. Have fun with it, right? And most of all, know that we are here to support you, the entire Living Full Out family. We have Rich and Gio and Ariel and Riley and so many people that just want to make sure that you are living full out every day. And remember to check us out. Go to livingfullout.com. The episodes are waiting there for you, or go to the app stores, or just say, hey, Alexa, Living Full Out Radio, and we'll start playing. So here's to you living full out. I believe in you. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Living Full Out Show with Nancy Solari. To learn more about this program, visit livingfullout.com for the latest episodes. Connect with the Living Full Out community by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you have an inspirational story you want to share, email us at connect@livingfullout.com. Here's to you, living full out.